This is Unexplained YouTube.
This is Delta Sierra Juliet. Is there any known traffic below 5,000 feet?
No known traffic.
Seems to be a large aircraft below 5,000 feet.
What type of aircraft is it?
I cannot confirm. It's four bright, seems to me like landing lights. The aircraft has just passed over me at least 1,000 feet above. Is there any Air Force aircraft in the vicinity?
No known aircraft in the vicinity.
Seems to be playing some sort of game. He's flying over me. Delta Sierra Juliet. It's not an aircraft. It's...
Can you describe the aircraft?
As it's flying past, it's a long shape. Cannot identify it. It has such speed. It's before me right now, Melbourne.
How large would the object be?
Seems like it's stationary. What it's doing right now is orbiting. The thing is just orbiting on top of me. It's also got a green light and a sort of metallic, like, it's shiny on the outside. It's just vanished. That strange aircraft's hovering on top of me again. It's hovering and it's not an aircraft.
Hey, Kendall.
Hey, Max.
So this is Unexplained YouTube, and what you just heard was Frederick Valentich's last known voice recording radio signal.
Yep.
And it's kind of eerie. I don't know. Where do you want to start with this guy?
Well, let's start from the beginning. A little bit about him.
All right. Who wants to do this?
Well, I guess I'll kick it off.
All right. Love it.
Well, first things first about Fred. He was described as a flying saucer enthusiast, and although he had quite the interest in flying, he apparently was kind of a yuppie about it. Frederick had about 150 total hours flying, held a Class 4 instrument rating, which authorized him to fly at night, but only in visual meteorological conditions. So, when the weather is okay. He had twice applied to enlist in the Royal Australian Air Force, but he was rejected because of inadequate educational qualifications. He was a member of the Air Training Corps, determined to have a career in aviation. He was studying part-time to become a commercial pilot, but had a poor achievement record, having twice failed all 5 commercial license examination subjects, and recently having failed 3 more commercial license subjects. He was involved in a flying incident. Flying incidents, so not just one. For example, staying in a controlled zone in Sydney, for which he received a warning, and twice deliberately flying into a cloud, for which prosecution was being considered. Apparently that's a no-no. I didn't realize that flying into a cloud was a no-no, but I guess it makes sense because, you could crash into somebody or something.
Well, if like the wrong rating, like he probably wasn't rated high enough. It seems like that's how this system works.
Right.
Like you have different levels, and then if you're badass enough, you can fly into a cloud. He was not badass enough yet.
According to his father, Guido, Frederick was an avid believer in UFOs and worried about attacks from UFOs.
That word is ardent. You said avert.
I said... What?
Yeah,
I said
you said avert. All right, whatever. You got the point across.
Okay, just cut that part out.
I'm leaving that one in.
I'll fight you.
So, I don't know, it's interesting that he was worried. Okay, it's like one thing to have an interest.
Mm-hmm.
But he was worried about attacks.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, Fred.
All right, put down the comic books, Fred.
So anyway, his detailed files of what you just heard. That was apparently when he died, is what you just heard. So.
Yep. Or at least disappeared. He might have. I don't know.
Maybe he went off like James Bond does every other movie and just lives low on the grid or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So Valentich radioed Melbourne Flight Service at 7:06 p.m. to report an unidentified flying aircraft was following him at 4,500 feet and was told that there was no known traffic at that level. Valentich said that he could see a large unknown aircraft which appeared to be illuminated by 4 bright landing lights. He was unable to confirm its type, but had said it passed at about 1,000 feet overhead and was moving at a high speed. Valentich then reported that the aircraft was approaching him from the east and said that the pilot might be purposely toying with him. He then said that the aircraft was orbiting above him and that it had a shiny metal surface and a green light on it. Valentich reported that he was experiencing engine problems. Asked to identify the aircraft, Valentich said that it isn't an aircraft, when his radio transmission was interrupted by an unidentified noise described as being metallic, scraping sounds before all contact was lost. And that's the tape that you just heard.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not going to go into the details on this, but they looked for him.
Yeah, there was like a 4-day air and sea search for him.
Yeah, they looked, and it's pretty thorough as far as I can understand, and they didn't really find anything until 10 years later when a cowl flap washed up.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically they said, okay, well, it's in a good enough area and it could have floated this far, and it belonged to the serial number
range that his aircraft was in.
Yeah, so maybe that was part of his plane, maybe not. Who knows? That's, take that as maybe somebody's tossing airplane parts in the ocean. I mean,
Gremlins.
You got to do something with your time. Anyway, a lot of people are like, well, there's explanations for what happened to Fred. I think the dude was, he just flew, he pointed that airplane upwards, and he flew right off into space.
Wow, Max.
I think that's what he did. That's my theory. A lot of other people are like, well, he was disoriented, and he basically just crashed. He thought that the lights above him that were mistaken for planets, and that he was disoriented, and he was flying upside down by accident. He just spiral. That would explain the engine puttering, not getting enough air in there, and smack into the ocean. Not good.
Right.
Some people think he committed suicide, which I don't know. Maybe not. I didn't know the guy.
That's a bit extreme.
Yeah, it seems weird to have a radio thing like that to commit suicide. I don't know, I'm no suicide expert, but that doesn't sound like a guy trying to purposely kill himself.
Trying to off himself, yeah.
And then these, I don't know. I don't know how. That's the point of this. We don't know what happened to the guy.
Yeah, I mean, some people say it was staged disappearance, but again, where's the benefit to him for doing this?
I mean, maybe. I don't know, if he was a UFO enthusiast, maybe trying to bring awareness to UFOs. It's kind of a far ways to go.
Right.
You gotta really want something to be real.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he was kind of disgruntled that he wasn't doing better at flying or something. Apparently he was flying, though, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. Just, I don't know. He flew off into space.
Melbourne police received reports of a light aircraft making a mysterious landing not too far from where he disappeared. So, I mean, there's that. But also, there was reports of a strange green glowing light around the same time of his disappearance.
Uh-huh. And some guy got a picture.
Oh, yeah, a plumber. What was his name?
His name was Roy Manifold.
Well,
It's just a good plumber name. It's also a good mechanic name.
He took a picture of a fast-moving object exiting the water
Near
Cape
the
lighthouse.
Otway Lighthouse.
Yeah.
And we're
pictures.
Yes, you're looking at it now, probably.
The picture's pretty rough, and it kind of looks like a cloud that's farting out another cloud, but
yeah,
whatever.
That's no different than a lot of the other stuff we look at on here. So you decide what that is. You're the expert.
It's an interesting case, and the tape is very creepy, I'm not going to lie.
Tape is creepy.
But, it's weird that he was a big enthusiast, and he was paranoid about aliens attacking him, and then, oh, I was attacked by aliens.
Yeah, what are the chances, you know?
Yeah, what are the chances? But at the same time, I don't think he would go off the deep end and kill himself.
To bring awareness to UFOs. Or go missing to do that either, right? I don't know. It seems like you gotta, like I said, you gotta really want something to be real.
Although, maybe he was inadvertently crashing and, his overactive imagination took the best of him and he thought that,
maybe.
Oh crap, is this what I think it is?
This is probably the theory that I think most, is that he probably, because it didn't sound like he was the bombest of flyers.
Yeah.
It sounded like he probably had some issues, and he got himself in a bad situation. And being the jumper to conclusions that he may have been, maybe he thought, oh man, they're coming to get me. So he radioed that in.
Right.
And they got him.
They done got him.
They got him. I mean, I don't know what happened to old Fred.
I don't know.
I don't think anybody does.
Just like, what was it, Flight 19?
Yeah. They're gone. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just creepy stuff.
Bermuda Triangle. Except this happened in Australia, though.
Yeah. Again, Australia, something ate them.
Probably.
All right.
A giant manatee jumped out of the water and gobbled up his Cessna.
Rest in peace, Fred.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, buddy. I mean, we don't know what happened to you.
It is truly unexplained.
Yeah, we don't know. If anybody has any... It's like America's Most Wanted now. If anybody has whereabouts on Fred Valentich, call
this number.
Call the hotline. So.
Update!
Yeah, right. What do you... I like the theory that he got himself in a bad situation and overreacted.
Got turned around in here.
Exactly.
Yep,
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And anytime you hear a tape like this or read a story like this, it's creepy.
It is.
The only part that's weird to me is, and because airplanes crash things crash all the time, no matter what vehicle it is. The only thing that's creepy to me about this is that he had the fear of being attacked by UFOs.
Right.
It's just a strange thing, and then that's what gets him. It's either his imagination getting to him, or they targeted him his whole life.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
They absolutely got him.
Absolutely true.
But the thing is, they were tracking him on radar, and then did he just disappear off radar?
Well, I thought they never had him on radar.
They never had him on radar.
They never had him on radar.
That's unusual. Right?
Yeah, I read that they never had him on radar, which led many people to believe that he was never in the area in the first place.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe he was completely lost.
It could be. Could be. I don't know. So, again, Frederick Valentich, war on, my brother.
Maybe he's like that airplane that's in Prey when you're in the big room and it's like, oh god, there's a lot of stuff in here, and then there's like an airplane flying in there.
Yeah, maybe that's him.
Well, no, that was like a commercial jet. But that's my point, though, is, maybe the aliens took up the whole airplane.
I think that's what he thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So the scientist guys were like, hey, he went into a spiral, and in the midst of his freak out, he looked up and saw planets and stars and thought they were the bottom lights to an aircraft.
Yeah, I think he went into a graveyard spiral, too. I think it just... Unfortunate event.
Yeah.
But definitely unexplained.
So that is the quick and sad tale of Frederick Valentich. And if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, let us know. We'll see what we can do. And this has been Unexplained YouTube.